another video, and for today I'm finally doing my book review on Joseph Conrad's The Heart of Darkness. I've been promising you guys for a good month now to put this book up, and I finally am, and I will be catching up on my book reviews for the next few videos that I upload. So in case you guys have not heard of this book or have and not know what it's about, this book is written by a Polish-British writer named Joseph Conrad, very good friends with Ford Maddox Ford, another great well-known author that I will be doing a review on his book in my next video. But today, spotlight is on Joseph. So for this book, Heart of Darkness basically tells the story of Charles Marlow, who is our narrator, and he's on this yacht on the River of Dimes in London, England, recounting his experience traveling from the docks of Brussels, Belgium to the Congo. And basically it's just what he witnessed in this journey, and he goes on, and the story of The Heart of Darkness is him retelling this story. This story does stray from reality. Joseph Conrad did actually travel, I believe, on a trading ship to the Congo in real life. So this story is based on his actual, I don't know if it's based on actual events on his journey, but I think it definitely influenced the story a lot. There's a lot to unpack here, and I want to make this a spoiler-free reviews. I kind of want to start doing that again because I feel like if I get too deep into the book, it gets too long, and that's not really relevant in terms of a review. All in all, this novel is phenomenal on so many levels. You know, for one, Marlow's character, the goals of his character changes from working on a ship, working on a trading ship, to actually going into the Congo and being obsessed with this character that everyone keeps talking about, which is the notorious ivory trader Kurtz, and he has escaped and people are wondering where he is. So as they travel deeper into down the Congo River, deeper into the Congo Free State, he's actively looking for Kurtz and wondering, what happened to this man. But as he's doing that, he's seeing his men, and he's seeing the Negroes that he's encountering on this land become more and more savage as deeper and deeper they get into the Congo. And he starts to question why men that were so civilized, Englishmen, were losing their inhibitions and their civility on this land. What was this land doing to his people? And finally, as we get to the end of the book, those questions are raised more and more. And this is a phenomenon that doesn't only happen with colleagues, but with the Negroes that are inhabiting these lands themselves. They become more and more savage, and he becomes more and more scared. There is a lot of very brutal imagery in this. There's a lot of very, very raw language, but this book realistically portrays colonialism and dynamics between the white men and the Africans during mid-1800s time, and it is something that I really, really enjoyed. It is deemed, people have said that this book is a racist book. I personally do not see it that way. I feel like just labeling a book a racist book tends to scare people off to read it, and I don't want that. I would highly suggest you guys read it because it is one of my favorite books, and it is an amazing, amazing read. It's told in a very reporting prose, which is weird for a story based on memory, and but it's done extremely well. And so you start to question, is Marlow really a reliable narrator with how clear cut everything seems to be as he's explaining it? But one of the biggest, I think, attention that is done in this story is the setting. It's so phenomenal, the way that he explains the grotesque ambiance of where they are and how it's influencing these men to act in this certain way, to talk in this certain way, to interact with each other in a very, very rugged way. Another element of the book that I really do love, it doesn't hold back, and that's something you do feel in this book. My problem with a lot of modern books now is that they try to hit on hard topics, but they miss the mark because they're afraid of offending. It kills the purpose of creativity, of literature, and of art. You know, you're supposed to let yourself go. You're supposed to be organic. You're just let it come. Don't hold yourself back because you're afraid of offending someone. If you're writing a book in a historical period where this stuff happens, you better do a damn good job. Like, Joseph Conrad did not hold back. Again, he is a man of his time, so it probably was not as hard for him, but it's something that just it engages the reader more, and it adds to the richness of the piece. When Marlow finally finds Kurtz is someone, he is completely lost. He is monstrous. He's the leader of this African tribe. They do his bidding. He steals ivory and resources from other tribes. He is not afraid of killing. He's just completely lost his civility. Marlow is shocked. And finally, you know, there's a lot of complications there, you know, of him trying to get Marlow to leave. And Marlow is fighting him, but he's also sick, and so he's dying as well. And finally, towards the end, when Kurtz is dying, he screams his last words, "The whore, the whore." And when Marlow goes back to London and he meets Kurtz's fiance, when his fiance asks what happened to Kurtz, and he's recounting that how good Kurtz was of an ivory trader and telling him all these things, she asked him what was, you know, she asked him what was his last words, and he said, "Your name." So, and it's something that is so weird because you start to question, is he lying or is he actually telling the truth? Because when you think about it, when Marlow goes back and he's looking at London, he's not looking at London the same way that when he left. You know, we have these deep and nasty desires and urges and things we want to do, but we don't act on them because of society. And so he looks at it as kind of a hypocrisy, and he's so disgusted with it. And Kurtz go of those inhibitions when he was in the Congo. He cries that out as his last words, "The whore," when he sees Marlow. And so it starts to make you question, are we horrific? When you look at yourself and you see your nature, you see, oh, the possibilities of things that you can do. How dark can our thoughts get when we think about certain things, our actions, things that we want to do? I mean, as dark as they can be, are we really civil at heart? Is just what you see right here just the facade? And all of that is targeted in this book, and it's targeted magnificently, and which is the reason why I highly suggest you guys check out this book. It is amazing. Let me know in the comments below if you've read this book, what you thought about it, what you loved about it. I really want to engage with you guys because this book is such a brain twist. Just like I had the same feeling with Candide by Voltaire. I had that same feeling with this book. And so I'm really excited to see like how you guys feel about it. And another thing I want to end before I end this review, another thing to think about is the title. The title was like this present, and it was just the final bow. Wrap up the entire story. Heart of darkness. I mean, the very center of human beings. Our heart is dark. It can be a very dark place. It makes you question, like, do we actually understand ourselves truly if we don't understand the darkest part of ourselves? And so it's just another thing too that I'm still 2 months later still wrapped up in these questions. I cannot answer them. I definitely am going to reread this book sometime in the future. When I'm going through a book slump and I want to reread a book, definitely I will pick this book up again. Again, Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad. Check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. If you have any recommendations for other books that I have not reviewed, leave them down below as well, and I will hopefully get to them in the future. But until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.